Hello, Louie. How are you?
Fine, thanks, Van. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I really appreciate having you take some of your quality, valuable time and sharing it with me, and just having a quick chat about your experiences with regards to my our relationship and your in your particular renovation. So I trust and hope that you're doing well. Everything's good.
Thank you. Yes, staying
Okay.
busy, getting things done. Keeping my life moving forward. Yep.
Great. Well, again, thank you for the time for taking the time. And before we talk about this, that, and the other, can you tell me sort of the reason why we're talking is obviously the renovation that you did to your property. So, can you sort of give me the lay of the land with regards to the purpose of you purchasing the property and well, why did you end up actually buying it?
Sure. So it's a two-bedroom, two-bathroom condo. I bought it in the short term to live in, and for the long term to rent it out and make it into an investment property to help fund my retirement.
So you wanted to create passive income, and so that in
Yes,
your later lives you are able to derive some income out of it, which is
correct. Yes,
it's a great move because ultimately, uh, as we talked about this before, and 90% of the millionaires out there are based out of real estate. So for your
correct.
ability,
Yes.
so that's a great move. Now, this property, I remember most of my interactions are with people with homes, so
Right.
and helping them through the renovation. So yours stands up because it was an actual condominium that I sort of helped you through the process of renovating. So I know you got a great deal on it because we talked about it. What was the actual condition of the condominium when you purchased it? Like, can you sort of give people that are
Sure.
listening to this video or watching this video an idea of how good and how bad it was?
It needed to be upsized, or not, sorry, upsized, upgraded. It needed to be improved. So it basically, the bathrooms needed to be renovated, the kitchen needed to be renovated, needed a new floor, needed a new paint job, that sort of thing. Those
Right.
sort.
So, and as you know, I'm sure this thought came across your head in that there's typically in these types of situations, there's two approaches that you can take. One would be to go out and hire a general contractor, and the general contractor will plan and manage it and look after the whole renovation. And obviously, that costs money, a lot of money. And then the next option would be for you to actually plan and manage your own renovation yourself. So you hired a sub trades, you hired a plumber, the electrician, the painter, and you manage the renovation yourself. Now there's pros and cons to both. What made you decide to actually go out and do this on your own, like to actually do the renovation, to plan and manage the renovation yourself?
Oh, well, I did a lot of research in the marketplace about how much renovator slash contractor would cost. And the numbers came in sort of between 35 and $40,000, which is a lot of money. I think it was about 38,000 was an average number I was getting, and I thought that's a lot of money to spend. And when I looked at your system, it was more affordable. I was able to get all of it done for about $22,000. So it's a
Wow.
significant savings, about 16,000.
Yeah, that's a huge savings. So what do you say was the length of the actual? So you did all the renovations that you wanted, the kitchens, the
Correct.
bathrooms. Remember that? What was the
Yes.
actual length of time for that renovation?
I think it took about 4 months to be honest, give or take. It was about 4 months. Yeah.
And if it was 4 months apart, I remember part of that was the actual planning of it, putting it all together, and then the rest of the time was actually spent on the actual construction, the
Yeah, you
renovation.
gave me a good sort of outline or framework basically about how to establish the goal of the renovation, then how to create a needs and a wants list of what to be renovated and how to distinguish between the two. Then you helped me establish a budget. We created a document called a scope of work. Then you showed me how to tender it out to contractors. And then you
Mhm.
helped me in identifying the right contractors for the job. You showed me how to manage each contractor, and you helped me make sure that the renovation was done right. I was very satisfied.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you the whole the the whole process was positive, and I'm sure there was bumps along the road, but ultimately you ended up with a renovation that you're happy with and that you saved quite a bit of money on. Would you, if there's anybody that was in the same sort of situation as yours, what are some of the things that you would suggest to them? Would you encourage them to engage in this like to manage their, like to do their own renovation?
I think the thing I would encourage them to do first is to do what I did. Try figuring all this out on your own and how much it would cost using a renovator or a contractor, and then rather than spending the money, go to someone like yourself and your method. That's what I would suggest.
Right. So the last thing I'm going to ask you is, obviously, we had a great relationship and everything worked out. Would you recommend and encourage other people to also engage in this process?
Absolutely, I would strongly recommend them.
And so the last question I have for you, Loui, and this is actually is pretty important to me, and I already kind of know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyways. Ultimately, do you think that this experience has provided you with that has empowered you so that you would be in a position to be able to acquire your next property and be in a position to be able to renovate it yourself on your own without the need of anybody else or a general contractor? Do you feel that?
Yes, I think that this has enabled me to have the confidence, if I wanted to do it again, just how to manage the process of the renovation, not to do the renovations myself, but how to manage the process. Yes, it gave me the confidence to do that. Yeah.
Good. And that's what I want to hear. And that's what I'm hoping, I was hoping for that, because ultimately at the end of the day, what I want to be able to teach is a skill set that you can use forward in the future. That also allows you to be able to, next time you purchase the next property you purchase, you'll be in a much better position to be able to make the assessments of what that property actually needs in terms of renovations, so that you're light years ahead of your competitors in acquiring a property, because you're in a much better, you got that skill set to be able to determine what the cost will be for the renovation and stuff, because you have that experience. And then never mind the actual amount of money that you save in actually doing a renovation, managing and planning out the renovation yourself, which is huge. But anyways, I appreciate the time that you shared, and I wish you the best of success. We'll stay in touch. So thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure. Best of luck to you as well. Thanks.
Thank you.